Hey everybody, it's Lorelia, and I wanted to do a video on WordPress versus Blogger. Reason why I decided to do this video, I was recently talking to a friend of mine, and she had mentioned that she had a blogger blog, and a blogger blog is basically a property owned by Google, and it gives you the capabilities of starting a free blog as long as you have an account associated with Google, which is of course Gmail. So she had mentioned that since she was going to WordPress, was that she didn't um, didn't want to pay some of the, I guess, the associated costs that were associated with WordPress. So as soon as she told me that, I knew right from the door that she was actually dealing with a different type of WordPress. So not only is this video about Blogger versus WordPress, but it's also to give a differentiation between blogger.com and not blogger.com, wordpress.com versus wordpress.org, because there is a difference, and that's what she was shocked at, because I had mentioned to her that there are two different type of WordPresses, and many people are not aware that it is. So if you're looking at the screen right now, this is actually a blogger type blog platform. Remember, I said it's owned by Google. And so, of course, I don't have a blogger account, but since I have Gmail and I have Google Plus, it populates the information to the blogger blog. So, I could just get started to blog. And if you notice, it says new blog, create your blog now. You are not the author of any blogs yet, create one and start posting. So as you can see, I am not a blogger. I don't use Blogger as my blogging platform. I actually use two type of platforms, but I'm not going to go into the other one right now. I'm going to only discuss WordPress. So now, let me be frank. To me, I understand why some people may want to start with Blogger because of the freedom that if you're new at blogging, then you could just get going. But let me just stop for a second. I want to backtrack on that word freedom. Although it gives you the capabilities of just get started in blogging, and get started with a blog, you really don't have the freedom to do what you want. So I really believe that when you decide to really get serious with blogging, there is going to be a decision based on cost. I wrote freedom and limitations, and maintenance and development. Those are what I would consider three of the most important things that you should consider if you're going to be serious about blogging. I mean, not somebody who's going to put up a blog today and don't come back to the blog 6 months later. Someone who's truly going to be consistent. So as you can see on the screen, I have cost, which is what you first should consider, and freedom and limitations. So going back to the blogger screen, as I mentioned, what is the cost? The cost is zero. But what is the freedom and limitations? There are limits to what you can do. Yes, it's free to get going, but there are limits to what you can do with it. And for me, if you're going to be serious about blogging, I consider your blog your online property. The same way that you have an offline property, your blog is your online property. And to me, I think you should own, you know, what it is that is yours. I feel like with you having any type of free form platform that gives you a blog where you don't make any payment, you don't really own that space. You may, it may be your content, but you don't own the space. So to me, that's really equivalent to, renting a house and you're doing upgrades. Who would be foolish enough to do that? If I rent somewhere, I'm just going to basically make it, livable for me to stay in. And that's the same way with a blog. Why really invest a lot of time into a space you don't own? Because think about it. It is a platform that is owned by Google. So Google, at any day, any time, if they are not happy with your content, they can take it away from you. So there's really no freedom with having a free blog. So now let me go to WordPress.com. Now this right here is WordPress.com. As you can see, it says right here on the top, WordPress, and you can basically just get started. Yeah, uh, you can get, let me just take this ad off. And right here, discover what the top WordPress bloggers have been writing about. But then once again, it is a free blog hosted by WordPress. Now, they do have some features if you decide that you want to upgrade. And I am going to try to go to the screen of the features. So, once again, it says some of the features that you would love. And this is what my friend was speaking about. Don't cost a dime, build a great site, spend nothing, zilch nada. And if you want to make the site even better, we offer a great selection of premium upgrades. Now, I'm going to be honest, although they do allow you to do upgrades, it's really minimum. With the upgrades that they're talking about, they let you personalize your domain name. Yes, they do give you a few premium WordPress themes. That is basically the face of your blog, but you're limited on plugins. You cannot do what you want to do with it. Once again, I don't see the sense of building something where you kind of rent the space, you don't own the space, although the content is yours. Um, you really don't have the freedom to do what you want. Um, so to me, just doesn't make sense. And that's why did this video, because I wanted to show her that once again, if you're going from Blogger, going if you're at Blogger and you're going to WordPress.com, there's really no difference. Yes, the interface of how the Blogger blog looks compared to WordPress.com may be, a little more enticing for you to want to switch to WordPress.com. But once again, I'm a big advocate of owning your online property, and you don't own it with WordPress.com. So now let me go over to WordPress.org. Now, WordPress.org is a is a web software, and it's basically a open source software to build websites and blogs. And the thing is that with WordPress.org, you have to go get your hosting, but you're free to do whatever you want to do with it. If you want to make it not look like a blog and you want to just make it wholeheartedly look like a well put together website, you have that freedom as long as you understand how to code. They use style sheets, CCS, CSS. I get them mixed up. If you know PHP or what have you. And then, of course, you can always outsource a lot of that. But don't let that intimidate you. I mean, you could really get started with a WordPress.org blog with just drag and drop. Um, I started with WordPress.org in 2009. That's how I know that there's a difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. Because when I decided to do my blog back in 2009, I had also ran into, and I'll be honest with you, I had created, a WordPress.com blog and everything, and was wondering, why wasn't I able to do some of the things that I saw other WordPress blogs have? And that's when I did some research and then found out that I didn't have the right WordPress. I had WordPress.org. So, well, lo and behold, going back to the story with WordPress.org. Now, since it is open source, you do have to get your hosting separately. Now, any internet provider can provide it to you. I personally use GoDaddy, but you can go to HostGator, Bluehost. Of course, there's many others, and I know that I think with GoDaddy is $4.99. I'm not too sure with the others, but if you notice right here on the site, it says WordPress is a web software you can use to create ads, use to create a beautiful website or blog. And then once again, you have the freedom to do what it is that you want. And I actually came across a very good article that would relate to me doing this video that I want to share with you. It's a definitive guide that came out in 2013. It was created by the WordPress group. So it's not somebody's opinion somewhere else. But it basically gave you some information on WordPress.org and WordPress.com in 2013. Once again, it goes into what WordPress.com is. And I may even put a link down at the bottom of the video. It does the cost comparisons. If you see right here, WordPress.org, you got to buy a domain, WordPress.com, $13 a year. And it goes into hosting, it goes into storage space, it goes into, you know, ads or what have you. But now the one thing that it doesn't really go into that I really want to emphasize the most is that the reason why you really want to have your own online property, and that's a WordPress.org property, is that you want to create an online asset. You want to eventually take this online asset and be able to monetize it. And of course, there are many ways to monetize it, but you want the freedom to do that. You don't want to be in a chokehold on what you can and cannot do. Now, I can tell you right now, with blogger.com, the only monetization aspect that you can have is Google AdSense. Google is very strict on what you can do. They're very strict on any affiliate products you promote. They're very strict with you placing ads on your blog. So if that is something that you are considering doing with your blog, right then and there, Blogger is out. WordPress is pretty much the same. They have very strict rules on what you can and what you can't do. I understand you do own the content, but you do not own the space, and they can tell you what you want to do. So I mean, there you have it. I mean, it to me, it's a no-brainer to go with WordPress.org. Now, I also told you. Now, this is also good in this article. It gives you a side-by-side comparison of what it is that you want to do. Now, right there it says, number one, right here, I want to sell online and require e-commerce capabilities. WordPress.org, yes. WordPress.com, no. Um, I want to have to maintain my software. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Um, I am a video or photo blogger and I need tons of storage space. WordPress.com, not gonna work. So I mean, there you have it. I mean, in this day and time, I don't see why anybody would even consider WordPress.com unless you're one of those individuals who want to occasionally blog, not really serious about it. Then you know what, go for the WordPress.com, the blog, or any other of those free platforms. But if you serious want to make your blog your online asset, this is the one way to go. Now, I also mentioned to you that I use two blogs. I use a WordPress.org and I use a viral blogging platform. I'm not going to use this video to go into that because I'm getting close to 15 minutes and I don't want to make this video any longer because then I have to cut it into two pieces. But what I want to share with you, I'm going to do another video doing a comparison of the WordPress.org org blog that I have and the viral blogging platform that I have, and why I make the investment to have both of them. So once again, this is Lorelia. I hope this has been, helpful. I hope this has answered, the question that a girlfriend of mine had about WordPress.com, which she did not know, versus Blogger. And I hope this can help anybody that's out there. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please rate the video, give me a comment, share it on Google Plus, and also don't forget to subscribe. And you know what? Let's connect further on my blog at WordPress www.yourmoneymentor.com. Okay, till the next time. Bye bye.